We're gonna do a mushroom sauce, low calorie. I've already sauteed off some onions right here. I've been cooking for 3 minutes, no oil in there like usual. So it's drying out now a little bit, okay? So I can add a splash of stock if I wanted to, but in this case I'm gonna press some garlic in there. Why do I press the garlic? Because it activates the allicin. Allicin is the proactive ingredient in garlic. It's super nutritious, anti-inflammatory, okay? So I'm gonna sear the garlic a little bit in there, and then I put the mushrooms right over it, okay? Super easy. And all I wanna do is I wanna get it up and cook this through properly here. Those mushrooms, give it a little sear. I can use the water technique if I wanted to. So this sauce is really a super low calorie sauce. What do we need to watch out for in a sauce like this? The oils. Tablespoon is 120 calories. What do I use? I use only half a tablespoon of oil. So I control my calories every time I do this. I had weight issues. Most of my friends have weight issues. This is how you control it, okay? So always think of get the best olive oil you can, right? And then control how much you're using. You still want to have olive oil. It's so good for the brain. It's so good for our brain health. But control how much you use. I'm gonna sear this. Normally this will take 5 to 7 minutes before this properly cooks. I'm gonna speed it up a little bit for you. What else do I have here? I have whole grain flour. You can use any flour you'd like. In this example, I'm gonna do a roux. Roux can be done in a light way where you roast the flour a little bit, or you can do a dark roux. We wanna stay away from that, okay? So I'm just gonna sear that, and then I have a veggie stock here. For the veggie stock, get the best veggie stock you can. Low sodium, always preferred. But then at home, you know, sometimes you're in a pinch, right? So make yourself a miso stock. You can use, for this quantity, maybe a teaspoon of miso. You can use a little bit soy. You can blend a little bit. Get some umami in there. That's the key, okay? If you don't have it, use bay leaf or something like that. All right, so my mushrooms are searing here. What I want to deglaze my mushrooms always with some acidity. Could be lemon, could be wine. Really super nice is sherry vinegar. If you have sherry vinegar, that's the best. It's really, really good. I'm going to use a little balsamic. I just hold the finger in front and do a little spritz here. I want to just infuse that just a little bit, but that's going to get it alive, okay? I could use spices. I could put some Cajun spice in there now. I can use some curry spice. I can use some chili flakes in there if I wanted to. I'm happy with this right now. We're going to focus on the roux. The roux is what I want you to learn from this cooking lesson. So look, I'm going to make myself a little spot here. Can you see this is a little bit brown on this side already? Roasted mushroom. And this is what I want you to pay attention to, okay? This is really the key of the recipe here. We're gonna put in half a teaspoon of olive oil, 60 calories, okay? Put it right in the pan, and right on top of it, I put the flour, right on top of that oil. And the liquid that's coming out of the mushrooms. So I hope you can see this, but I'm roasting the flour. Why do I roast the flour? It's a good question. Because otherwise you have that raw flour smell, okay? So you want to be careful. You really want to toast it enough to get that raw flour smell out. Give it a little maillage, so a light golden color. Okay, this is super nice. It soaks up at the same time the liquid of the mushrooms right now, okay? So I can smell it. I smell the mushrooms really nice. I'm super happy with this. And so here, if you see the pan right there is a little browning. Now all I'm doing is I put in my stock in one move. And that's it. And now I'm gonna stir this up. I could use a whisk if I wanted to. But what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna bring this to a proper boil and boil this through for some 5 minutes or so. I don't want to cook it too long. I want to make just sure there's no clumps of flour in there. Whisk it maybe really good, get that worked in there, and then I see on that side. My sauce has been cooking for 5 minutes, like really good boil, okay, because I want to boil that through that flour. I want to get rid of that flour flavor. Plus, I don't want any crumbs in there, right? So I just stir it through really good. Okay, so what I needed was fresh parsley. I'm gonna put that in there. I'm gonna put some black garlic in there, black pepper, black pepper, and a little bit of chili flakes I put in there. I like my food rather spicy. Stir it through one more time. And this is a really, really beautiful sauce. Like, it's a nice viscosity, nice creamy, thick. 60 calories just on the oil. The rest of it, a couple calories, super low calories. If you want to lose weight, this recipe is for you. Use it for risotto. You can use that in a lasagna. You can use that in pasta. There's a ton of, you can put it over baked potatoes, whatever you like, okay? So, great thing. Put it in lentils, however you like. Enjoy. Join me, lose some weight, stay healthy.